Why do so many conservatives lack empathy?
It's based on individualism.
Do liberal politicians really care or only pretend to care?
My experience is that people's political views are an extension of their personality. How empathetic one is a direct reflection of this. Just being honest. Well, for starters, it doesn't seem entirely right to say conservatives lack empathy. Rather notably, they do community service and give to charity at higher rates. Conservative philosophy tends to be about individual rights and local community, rather than large-scale collectivism, and hence that's why you see conservatives especially empathetic to members of their community in need, but not so much to communities they are disconnected from. Conservative solutions tend to try to evaluate incentive structures and remove the incentives, enablers for bad outcomes, whereas liberal solutions tend to focus on pragmatic harm reduction. It's not like one of those is always right or always wrong. Sometimes liberals think that the empathy they demonstrate translates to a moral high ground and better motives, and therefore their solutions are better and more valid, but that's not always the case.
Another political division question.
For the same reason liberals don't believe in personal responsibility. Neither of those things are true.
Your friends are just assholes.
Don't know any personally cause I'm not American, but that's just a big generalization. I've met a large chunk of unkind individuals over the years, from all different walks of life and with differing viewpoints. And I know social media isn't everything, but I've seen the best of both worlds on YouTube. And believe me, I think it's a universal thing. Lamau. American individualism.
Because their brains are saturated in fear. They find it hard to empathize without groups because they are taught to fear them, and that fear them extends to in groups as well over longer periods of time.
Fake post.
Strong in-group bias and a lack of out-group empathy are defining characteristics of conservatism. Empathy is often a worse way to gauge solutions than practical reasoning.
You've tried to lump every conservative into your group of friends. They sound like assholes, not conservatives. I could say every lib I know is a whiner. That's true. Assholes are assholes. I know far more volunteers and people who give their time and money who are conservatives and Christians than any liberal I know. I'm a libertarian/independent. There's far more than two sides there, bud.
Why are so many Democrats delusional?
Might just be your group of friends. I'm pretty center-left, but I notice my conservative friends almost always are the ones helping me out. When I needed help moving, help with a house project, or need some help with yard work and cutting down trees, it's always my ex-military conservative friends that are the first to pitch in, work the hardest, and never hold it over my head.
That's literally what conservatism means. That's their policy: alienation, stagnation, and reversal of progress. Look up the dictionary definition of liberal. There's a reason one party actively strives to make society better, while the other one actively promotes division, hate, and backwards policies that only benefit short-term goals instead of considering long-term preservation. A liberal policymaker will invest in green spaces because long-term environmental preservation will be beneficial to society in more ways than you could count. A conservative policymaker will tear down green spaces to build a mall because it will provide jobs in the short term and make the party look good. One policy thinks about long-term consequences for future generations they will never meet, the results of which are not immediately evident but are long-lasting and considerate of all human beings. The other policy thinks about short-term ends that will be evident quickly and only benefit the people who make them and their immediate circle of supporters. The very essence of conservatism is to not care about that which doesn't directly affect you personally. You cannot call yourself a conservative and be empathetic to other human beings at large, regardless of demographics. At the same time, those are actually mutually exclusive. Conservatives have empathy, but it's usually limited to themselves and people they directly know. Liberals tend to have empathy that's wider in scope, that includes others. Liberals have so much empathy when it comes to rural populations it's overwhelming. Truly a perfect ideology. Seems like the love and peace generations have been the most critical, non-caring people I've ever experienced. Especially being a gay person, experiencing them growing up. M65. They and the politicians their age are nothing but total bastards.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.